So firstly, I just want to quickly say, if you can hear fireworks outside, I am filming this on New Year's Eve, and my area has decided to obviously celebrate New Year really early. Obviously, I'm guessing, you know, they want 2020 to end quite quickly, which I don't blame them for. But if you do hear fireworks throughout this video, that is why. But that is not what this video is going to be. 2 years ago, I said this. I wanted to kind of react to all of the sort of the ego videos and do them all in order and kind of say my thoughts on what was going on and like my theories on what I think is going on. Well, here we are. What this is going to be is a theory video on what I think the timeline is for Jacksepticeye's ego narrative. I do want to bring up quickly before we get into things that, firstly, these are theories, these are not facts. Nothing that I will mention has been confirmed as canon. Please bear that in mind. These are just my thoughts and theories of what I think is going on, what I think the chronological order is at the moment. Secondly, these are based on the videos that exist so far. So there will be pieces missing that we don't know about yet, but I'm kind of basing it off what we know at the moment and what information we've been given at the moment. Like I've already mentioned, these are my theories, but I'm interested to know what you guys think, what your theories are. You may not agree with any of it, you may agree with some of it. Let me know in the comments what you think is going on. I'd be interested to know what your theories are on this as well. But this is something that I've been wanting to do ever since my channel actually started. And I thought, yeah, let's end this year with this video. So, timelines. I mentioned when I reacted to Jack's last Halloween video, I mentioned that I think there was 2 timelines going on. I still think that's the case. So, the first timeline is all of the Power Hour videos. So, the Schneep one, Chase Brody, Marvin, I think they are all in the first timeline. And stuff like the Say Goodbye video, the PAX East intro, and the BioInc Redemption video, they are all part of the first timeline. Which then means that the first versions of the egos that we saw was all part of that timeline. And while Marvin and Jackie don't have a set place in the timeline yet, this is either due to they haven't had that many videos or due to something else that I will mention in a minute. They're still important to the story, but also Schneepelstein, Auntie and Chase definitely do have set points in the timeline. They are extremely important to the timeline altogether. But where does it all start? I think Bro Average is the first in the timeline. So a video that I will mention later is the You Aren't Ready for These Jump Scares, where at the end Dr. Schneepelstein is trying to right something that has been wronged, and on the computer monitor we can see the upload date or the day before the upload date of Bro Average. So I think Bro Average was the start of this ego narrative. After that is BioInc Redemption Kill Jacksepticeye. Yeah, weird, right? However, if you remember in the ending, Auntie mentions that he wonders how many times we've been through this. Which is a bit weird considering we'd only seen him, 3 times by that point? That's a little strange. So I think that the Kill Jacksepticeye episode was next. And another weird thing that was mentioned was this.
I will not have you die! Not again! I will not lose you! I almost lost you once before!
I don't really think that's referring to Say Goodbye. I think that's referring to something else. Maybe the coma from the other timeline? And then after this is a theory that I've always had pretty much since the surgery video, when which was Dr. Schneepelstein's appearance after Bioink Redemption. I think the Doctor is Back, which is the surgery video, I think that is chronologically his first video in that timeline. I think that is when he was supposed to first appear, but because of the timeline being all over the place, that was not the case. I think the Power Hour, the Christmas surgery video, the other Bioink Redemption videos, I think they all took place after Kill Jacksepticeye, after Schneepelstein had been possessed by Auntie. If you remember in the Power Hour video, he went a little weird.
Maybe, Peter, maybe I kill you. Maybe I tried to get Belle out of you. Maybe Belle sleep. Maybe Belle sleep and then Dr. Schneepel has a bit of fun of his own. How's you like that, Peter? How about I pump you full of more anesthetic? How about you never wake up, Peter? He's awake!
So was he going weird because that's part of him? Or was he going weird because that was Auntie seeping through? So the second timeline is the coma timeline. So this is Stories Untold, Dark Silence, Exiles, First Winter, Ty, and so on and so forth. So this is where the Ego's kind of had a bit of a reboot. This is where things are going to get a little more interesting. So like I've mentioned, the Doctor's Back video is where I think we actually were supposed to get introduced to Dr. Schneepelstein. And this is where the second timeline was supposed to start. So the second timeline starts with this, and then it matches in with the first timeline. Bear with me, I'll get on to why that's the case in a minute. So as we know, it has actually been confirmed that Ty and Dark Silence was actually from the view of Chase. So Chase was replacing Jack while Jack was in the coma. However, I think Stories Untold and Exiles is actually from the point of view of Jack in his comatose state. Exiles is especially like a good example of this. Exiles video starts off with the game on a blank screen, and then suddenly his face cam pops in and he looks really confused as to why he's in there and doesn't seem to know where he is. So I think that is actually Jack in that video, and the same with the Stories Untold videos. Again, this is something that I think has already been pretty much confirmed. Dark Silence happens and Auntie meets Chase. Bearing in mind that Chase is the first Ego to actually see Auntie. Because you got to remember, Jack didn't know he was there, and neither did Schneepelstein. So Chase is the first one to actually meet Auntie face to face. But after Dark Silence, we have Chase, which was the 4-minute short film. And I think this one has pretty much been confirmed that it took place after Dark Silence. In the very opening scene, we see Chase holding an eviction notice, which the eviction date was the upload date of Dark Silence. So I think either what happened was Chase was framed for the killing of his wife and kids, or he, I don't know, went mad from seeing Auntie, which led to his wife and kids leaving him. I'm more on the theory of the first one, which is the more horrifying one, but again, if you watch the ending to Dark Silence, you'll hear screaming and crying as Chase is walking around. So I am leaning towards the first theory of what I said, which is the more morbid one, but it makes a bit more sense. But I think the consequence of this was that Auntie met Chase and pushed him into his void, like his world. When he gets poofed into the parking lot of the building, I'm undecided on that part. I think that's either Marvin or that's Schneepelstein messing around with the time travel, and that's the consequence on his side. But I am still undecided on that part. But the idea of the void, I think he's probably in a void that Auntie put him in, because when we go to the beginning, Chase gets in the car and Auntie is in the back seat of the car, watching us and telling us, this is what you guys did, this is what you guys wanted. But also, when Chase is walking around the woods near the end of the film, the lens changes to a fisheye lens, giving it a very dreamlike feel. So I think that Chase has probably been put into the void by Auntie. So, that actually means that the coma has been mentioned in both timelines. Why is that? That's because both Auntie and Schneepelstein are meddling with time. While Schneepelstein is trying to fix something, Auntie is trying to destroy something. So I think he's trying to destroy everything in the timeline, so he's the only one left, while Schneepelstein is trying to right everything that was wrong. So going back to the Bionic Redemption Kill Jacksepticeye episode, when he says, "I can't lose you, not again," he's referring to the coma, not to the say goodbye video, because he has seen that timeline before. With the same video, Auntie at the end, how many times have we been through this? It's the same Auntie for both timelines as well. So he has been through multiple timelines and through multiple outcomes, and he's getting fed up by that point. But for us, it's only been 3 times. Now, I purposely have left out JJ and Marvin. Jackie I've left out as well, but Jackie does only have 1 or 2 videos, which don't really lend too much to the timeline. So I'll be leaving Jackie out for this. But in terms of JJ, I think I'd mentioned this before, but I think JJ is stuck in the same loop. I think he is doomed to always be a puppet, and it doesn't matter. The loop will keep continuing, but he'll always be the same. Marvin is probably not so bleak. Marvin, I've already mentioned my theories on the Halloween video reaction that I did, and I think either he will eventually try to stop it as well, or he'll end up becoming possessed by Auntie. Which is something I don't really want, and it's something I have already said before. Just because Auntie's already too strong. That's a bit much otherwise. So, to reiterate, 2 timelines. Schneep and Auntie are crisscrossing between the 2 timelines. Auntie's trying to destroy everything, while Schneepelstein is trying to stop him. I think the Bro Average video is the start of one timeline. We start off by seeing Schneep meeting Auntie and then becoming possessed and then getting out of it, which leads to him wanting to right the wrong. It's been shown that he's already saved Jack before, which was probably from the coma. I'm still on the theory that Say Goodbye is the end to everything, but I know that a lot of people don't want that to be a thing, which I understand. But I think that's still my theory on it. But I'm anxious to know what you guys think, what your theories are. These are my slightly messy theories, so I do apologise, it's a little all over the place. But I wanted to get them out at the moment, just because I felt like it was time. Obviously these will change as more ego videos come out. And then, I don't know, maybe in another 2 years' time I can do an update. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. There wasn't much to it. But, again, these are my theories at the moment of what I think is going on. Obviously, everyone else is going to have different theories. And if you don't agree with my theories, that's completely fine. You don't have to. I am interested to see what your theories are, what you think is going on. Because I always like hearing fan theories as well. Or if you think I'm wrong with a particular theory, then let me know why. I'm interested in that as well. But I will leave this here. Hopefully this is my last video of 2020. I hope I can get this out in time. I'm aiming to get this out before midnight UK time. So hopefully that will be the case. But for people who are celebrating New Year's Eve, I know quite a lot of people aren't going to, which I don't blame you. But if you are celebrating it, I hope you have or had a good New Year's Eve and safe one. I apologise if you could hear fireworks throughout this. I do want to say as well, just quickly, I am going to be taking a break now for about, I think, 10 days. I'll be back on the 11th of January. I'm currently in the middle of actually changing my room around. So I'm actually going to get like a new bed and switch everything around. So this will probably look completely different by the time I come back. But I need some time just to do that. I think I'm going to paint the walls as well because they're looking a bit sorry for themselves. But I do need some time for that. So I will actually be coming back to YouTube on the 11th of January. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you're all well. Take care. Bye.